Hi everyone, yasas que kalos irtate to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're going to be making a lemony white bean and chicken soup. It's going to be quick, easy, hearty, and delicious. Let's get started. Okay, so begin with the chicken. I have about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thigh meat. It's juicy, you get more for your money, and it's just so good in soups. Just go ahead and drizzle some olive oil on top of that, and then just season both sides with salt and pepper. I like to cook this in the air fryer because it's just so much easier and quicker, but you can, if you don't have an air fryer, you can do it in the oven. Set your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and you just cook the chicken until for about 25 minutes or so, or until it's fully cooked. It doesn't even have to be fully cooked because it's going to continue to cook in the soup. It's just that I just usually cook it until it's fully cooked. So I just put it in the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 to 15 minutes. So while that's cooking, go ahead and finely chop a medium-sized onion. You could use a large one. It doesn't really matter. And if you have 2 large carrots, peel them and dice those up. I usually have these baby carrots on hand because we like to snack on them, put them in salads and stuff. So I'm just gonna roughly chop them. I just took a little handful. Didn't really measure. You put as much or as little as you want in there. Your kitchen, your rules. That looks like enough. So these are gonna go in a soup pot with a little bit of olive oil and a pinch of salt. And they're going to cook over medium heat until they're nice and soft. It's going to take about 10-15 minutes. About 1/4 cup of olive oil should be good enough. You could put a little more, a little less. So once the chicken is ready, go ahead and roughly chop it on a cutting board and just set it aside. If you cooked it ahead of time, you can go ahead and shred it. It is up to you. Set it aside. Then once the onions and the carrots are nice and golden, go ahead and add 5 or 6 garlic cloves that have been grated. You could also add a teaspoon of celery seed. The celery seed adds the flavor without the texture of celery in there, which some people don't like. But if you want whole celery in there, you can just dice up 2 celery stalks and put them in the soup from the very beginning with the onions and the carrots. But go ahead and put the celery seed and the garlic in there and just warm it through for a few seconds. Then add all of the chicken that you chopped up in there. And then go ahead and also add 2 15-ounce cans of your favorite white beans. I'm using Great Northern white beans, but you can do a combination of white beans and chickpeas, all chickpeas, canellini beans, whatever your favorite white beans are. Go ahead and put them in there. Season with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then top it off with 2 quarts of chicken stock, homemade or store-bought, whatever you have on hand. Bring the soup to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, reduce the heat to a medium and let it cook for about 30 or 40 minutes or until the beans get nice and soft and all of the flavors come together. If you want a little bit of texture to the soup, you can go in with an immersion blender and just blend it 2 or 3 times so some of the beans can kind of melt in there and it'll give you a nice creamy consistency. I'm leaving it whole because I like it brothy, so that's how I'm leaving it, but we give you options here. Once that's done, then you're gonna go in and add 1 or 2 big handfuls of your favorite greens. Sometimes I like to buy the power green mix. That's a mixture of arugula and baby kale and baby spinach, or you could do all spinach. Put that in there with lemon juice. Lemon juice is gonna brighten it up and give it really good flavor. It's gonna add lots of freshness. You could add as much as you want. I like to start with 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and then I taste it, and if it needs more, I'll add some more. Also, a nice heaping teaspoon of dill. If you're not a fan of dill, leave it out and add some fresh parsley, like 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. Give the soup a mix and a taste. Adjust the seasoning if it's needed. And just like that, the soup is ready to be served. So my soup is ready and it's time for the taste test. It smells so good, looks so comforting. I wanna make sure I get some beans, some chicken. So lemony. So comforting. The spinach literally melts in your mouth. The beans are nice and soft. The chicken is still juicy and very delicious. You can definitely substitute chicken breast if you want to keep it a little bit lighter, but the chicken thighs are definitely my pick. I like to use them as often as possible because they stay juicy and soft. They never dry up. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. It is so delicious. Serve this with some crusty toasted bread, some olives, some feta cheese. If you want to put some Parmesan cheese in it to make it a little richer, go ahead. But honestly, it is perfect just the way it is. Head on over to the website to print this recipe out, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Check out our shop where we have beautiful aprons and olive oil and other specialty items from Greece. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.